get to be seen on the surface. So that's why a day like this in the global scene is so critical. So everybody needs to give attention.
All right, so that now leads us to the question of the day proper. Why is it important for us to dedicate a day, an international day, to observe Mind, Body and Wellness Day? Why is it so important?
Critical, because you see, like we said, you have to be responsible for every thought you think, for every feeling of yours, which are basically issues from your inside. Responsibility game is no longer about just running helter and skelter what you do. It begins from the minutest of your thoughts. Your thought informs your feeling. Your feeling engages your passion, and your passion activates your energy for the right action. So if you follow that dimension from thought to feelings to passion and then to action, then your guess is as good as mine, that as free moral agents, as they say, we have to be responsible. We have to be able to marry our mental health, energy of the mind, with our physical health, energy of the body, even with our emotional health, because we are emotional beings. And you see, the blend of your physical health with your mental health must of necessity pass through a bridge. And that bridge, man, is your emotional health. And what does that entail? Your relationship, first with yourself, and then your relationship to others, which you call responsibility. So your energy being powered from the inside to the outside passes through this route for you to converse, communicate, and engage on a critical note. So what you do matters from the inside first.
If I follow your line of thought very well, which I want to believe I do, you are saying that if I get my thought process wrong, even my behavior will be wrong.
Everything goes the wrong order, because the first principle is not even what you do, it's what you think. That's why wisdom book says, as a man thinks, so he is. Inside, outside. You will never do a thing, all things being equal, without thinking of it first. You have to think first. So your capacity to give attention to a day like this, where we're going to discuss the body and mind connect, is critical. If you don't connect with your mind first and you just do something, you'll be lost in identity crisis. 2, you'll be confused. 3, that is an express strong A route to Mr. Stress.
Wow.
When you hear people say, I'm just stressed, so you take a journey to in a particular path, and you just say, where am I even going? What am I doing? There's a disconnect within. And you can't disconnect within and connect without. So it's a cascade. It's a synchrony. Who you are on the inside matters a whole lot. That's why for balance, for stability, for energy, for strength, you need to be able to fix that route and be okay inside, so that you'll be great outside.
So what is the relationship between what you are saying with what people generally refer to as consciousness, being conscious at all times about what goes on inside of you? I think an Indian mystic known as Sadhguru, he wrote a book called Inner Engineering. What is the connection between all of this?
Your consciousness is critical. In fact, in psychology, we call it mindfulness. Your capacity to turn the searchlight inward to yourself and just behave from inside. Behave. Be plus have. Exercising your energies to discover yourself, the way you feel, the way you think, the way you reason, and then use that at the present moment to build your strength from the inside. So self-consciousness is critical. When you are not conscious of yourself, you misbehave. You do things outside of the box, and people say, what a foolish ass. Why are you behaving so stupidly? And of course, at times we say, why was I stupid? I was stupid. Why? Because you did not turn the searchlight inwards. And you smile. That makes a world of difference between reacting and responding. When you react, somebody hits you, you hit back immediately.
That's reacting.
That's reacting. Because you didn't allow that action to go through thought processing principle in your inside, which is a dynamics already woven in your subconsciousness. And once you don't reflect inside, and how do I do reflection in self-consciousness? Just think. Before this man could act this way, something must have triggered him. I know he's coming from a standpoint, a place. When you put yourself in people's places, empathy. Mentally, it's called empathy. And when you empathize, not sympathy, when you empathize, you put your feelings at par with that other person and try to feel how he feels so that you can be on the same page. Just like they say it takes two to tango. You won't tango when you don't do the whatever. So it's very vital. Self-consciousness is critical. Do mindfulness. At times, learn to just withdraw and stay with yourself. By the virtue of personal presence, thinking about your values, your attributes, your attitude, looking at surrounding, watching an ant climb a tree, and catching fun. Because in life, if you don't make up your mind to catch fun, you always catch fight. And there's fight everywhere. With the tension around, with the emotional display around, you catch fight. A little thing will trigger anger. So self-consciousness allows you to do what I call personal invasion, where you are able to do what I call APC.
Okay.
Not by way of political party. APC, you appreciate yourself. Who is Yusma? Who is Dr. Long Life? What are his qualities? Where is he good? Where is he bad? Where is he ugly? You are very factual with yourself. Objective assessment of yourself. That's your A, appreciation. Then P, you penetrate into yourself, your mind, your emotion, your will, and say, where do you need to cross your T and dot your I? Where do you need to take on some personal learning, some personal development program, PDP now, personal development program. While we are talking what? APC. So life is a dynamic thing that you can apply. So that is your A. P, you penetrate yourself. Before penetrating others to see what goes the wrong order and all of that, turn the satellite inward. Say, how do I feel? Did I answer right? Do I do this? In that you are doing mind engagement, mental interaction with yourself. That is P. Then C is contribution. Before you contribute out there, contribute to yourself. Make sure you power your daily habits. Make sure your lifestyle protocol is intact. When do I wake up? When do I sleep? How do I sleep? Where do I sleep? How do I talk? How do I reason? How do I feel? What about the exercises? Do I burn more energies than I build? How about my sleep pattern? Am I suffering from sleep deficit? And many out there can no longer sleep.
True.
They say, doctor, I don't find sleep. No, I catch fun sleeping, and I can sleep whenever I like, because I build a retinue of protocols over the years. And that's why as you grow older, you should look younger, smarter, in order to live longer and happier. Very critical.
Very, very important.
And it's all about your mind and body
connection.
You lose that connection, I'm sorry. Your day is a woe. Your day is a burden. Your day is horrible. You must connect with yourself every day through self-consciousness that you raise. Not only self-consciousness, but some other variables are so critical as well.
Okay, Doctor, we live in times now where you find out that a lot of people's emotional intelligence or the ability to be able to connect the mind and the body, as you would put it, is very, very low. Because you have a lot of people living very miserable lives, so to speak, even when they have all it takes to live very happy and fulfilling lives. How would you, in short period now, teach someone how to be able to explore that inner space of his or hers, those inner energies? What would you tell somebody to do that they can do in quick time?
So simple, like I have always said. I don't need to teach you the rule of behavior to say number one, do this, number two, do this. Just it's in the word behave.
Behave.
And you smell the word behave is so loaded. Be and then what? Have. Do you know why you are not called human being? You are a human being. So please be first. Be at your own natural equilibrium. Don't try to fake it in order to make it. Just be yourself. Nobody is perfect. Even Dr. Longlife, eking out some of these things through his mercy, he's never perfect. But I try to be myself so that I don't struggle unduly. When you are yourself in your natural state of equilibrium, you're good, you're bad, and you're ugly, you can bring it out. Be humble, to be corrected, to be advised, to be instructed. Be yourself, and then when you are yourself, you can know your strength, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. You walk away from weaknesses into strength, while you try to walk down on your threats and convert them into opportunities. In doing this, that's your be. You are aware. You are self-conscious. Don't try to convince people, make believe, just to make an emphasis of where you are not, because it will show. Attitude, this man, is something nobody can hide. You can't hide it. It's like pregnancy. You say, well, you don't know it's pregnant first to third month. Although there are some women, even 2 weeks pregnancy. We're not talking of those exceptions. But you see, pregnancy, when it comes to 7, 8, 9 months, is quite
no hiding place.
No hiding place. So that's how our attitude is. So please, very vital, work on those things to be yourself first. And then, what do I have? Life operates and oscillates within personal brackets. Physically, mentally, like you always say, spiritually.
I like that.
And you like it so much. You are a spiritual journalist. You see, when you put all those coordinates together, you will just catch fun with yourself, with what you have within, for what you can be without. So I know myself. I know what I have. So when my personality joins up with my personal properties, my potential comes out. And when I just exude energy, you see potential at work. People catch fun hearing you, listening to you, making sense, even out of the nonsense. And with that, you communicate. So personal coordination is the gateway to public communication. And that's why today is critical. Can I say it again?
Please.
Personal coordination is what? The gateway to public communication. So be in charge of yourself. Self-care, very critical. Somebody who doesn't respect his own personal protocol would disrespect any protocol out there.
True.
And that's why we'll have various degrees of insubordination here and there. Here and there in offices, in homes, children. generally want to be unruly, especially in their teenage years, adolescent. They want to say, now I'm an adult. I can do anything. I'm myself. So it's very critical. Know your bracket. Know what you can do. Know what you cannot do. And then make sure you do the needful all of the time. You won't have problems with any other person outside once you are in harmony with yourself. Harmony within will never deliver acrimony without.
Without. Okay, Dr. James, I right now I feel like if a lot of people in our communities, in our states, and in our country take control of this inner consciousness, a lot of the issues and crises that
we're having now will never surface. It will never surface. Very critical. Please know your limit, even when you don't limit your knowledge. Know your space. Find your place in order to take your space. When you are displaced internally, you have misplaced priorities outside. Of what use carrying a cudgel to hurt my neighbor when I'm not hurtful inside? So you see, and all these are all about our energy systems. How do we treat ourselves? In fact, I'm going on this World International
Mind Body
Wellness Day. I'm going to give the global space an acronym to maintain.
Okay.
To maintain sync. First with yourself. It is in the word vent. You know, we vent out. And venting means what? From the inside.
To express from the
to
inside,
the outside. Full expression. Vent. So what is V? Yusba? V is voice out. Because what you don't voice out, especially bad emotions, can accumulate inside you and cause you some internal explosion, which you call depression. Sense of withdrawal, low mood, energy, tension, stress, depression, which can even lead to suicide if it is not managed on time. So learn to voice out. That's the letter V of the word vent. If you must live well. I'm not saying ventilate.
Just vent.
Vent. So the first letter is V. Learn to voice out your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions, your predicament. It's not a sign of weakness, Usman, you know. It's a sign of meekness. Your capacity to identify with what is going on your inside and say it out in order to procure help and assistance. As at when due. That is meekness, never weakness. That is letter V. How about letter E? Energize yourself on a daily basis through lifestyle protocol practices. This is when I wake up. This is when I sleep. This is how I hydrate. This is the way I do exercises, aerobics, and all of that. This is how I think and feel. This is how I walk. This is when I retire. I don't do energy overdraft. This is how I burn my energies within the week and within the day, and I know my gauge. You energize yourself. What are those spiritual protocols? What are those mental protocols? What do you read? What do you learn? What do you meditate? Spiritual protocol. How do I do my prayers or say my prayers, as they say? Read my Bible, read my Quran, and the rest of it. Because we have that gauge in our inside. Then your emotional energies, build it. Your interactions, your relationship, please fuel it. Because we have emotional energies. We have interaction, we have relationship to keep and all that. Don't just stay aloof all of the time. No, there are moments when you stay aloof in order to build energy, and there are moments where you interact, interface in order to intervene by the order of critical engagement with other people. You burn emotional energies, and there are other times you burn and build physical energies. How you sleep, how you recreate, and how you observe the rule of balanced diet. When you put all of these coordinates together, we call it the behavioral check, which you hear every day on Aso TV radio. Every day. So that is your V, that is your E. What's the next letter? Yusma? N. Note your feelings. Because as it is coming down from that cascade of a thought in your mind, when you are becoming self-aware, those thoughts grows from thoughts to imaginations and feelings. You feel it in your mind, and before you know it, it activates an energy in your body called passion. And then from there you take the action, and when you join all of these protocols together, it becomes behavior. When you practice it over and over, and it becomes an event, and you start playing it out. I don't like the way he behaves. Mind you, you see it as behavior, but it's a series of what? Activities on the inside, where the mind connects with emotion, with passion to create the action. So you can't handle your body.
You can't handle your emotions.
When you cannot handle your emotions. So I'm not being gender biased here. I'm talking to our women especially. And some men who will spend a huge quantum of time and resources on just the physical. How about the mental?
The mental.
And like journalists say, how about the spiritual?
Very important.
In fact, that's the basis.
Very, very critical.
Because we must flow from that space in order to nourish other areas. So that's the letter N. What about the last letter?
Yes.
T. Remember, V-E-N-T.
Vent.
Treat yourself. Give yourself good treat. Not just walk. Nigeria is hard, though. Everywhere is bad, though. And you want to live 25 hours in 24. Just walking day and night. Treat yourself. Shut down the TV, shut down your phone, and just be happy. Catch fun. Spoil yourself for once. Enter one of these good, great places, cuisines and what have you, and just feel good. Buy a whole chicken, dismantle it, and just catch fun. Treat yourself physically, treat yourself mentally. Read nice books, books that will provoke you. Things on social media, not the junky side and all of those, no, but things that will stir you up in your heart and in your mind to achieve more. To tell you how you can read the 5 books in 1 week without stress. Those are the things that burns your passion and your energy and all of that. So treat yourself. Treat yourself physically too. Do the aerobics. Once you can no longer see the top of your belt, Yusma,
there's a problem.
You need to see me for therapy. To go for belly reduction just with ordinary water. So you are based out there. No need to go to London, whatever, all of this jogging and whatever. No, just with water. I'll reduce your tummy. For you.
I think anyone who is watching this will want this conversation to continue ad infinitum, meaning without any end. But of course, we are guided by time here, and it's as if we just started talking 1 minute ago with Dr. Longlife himself.
I hope you are just at the introductory level.
Before I let him go, I'm very sure, just like myself, a lot of you will want to connect with him for further conversation about things that are personal to you. Although every day on this platform, Dr. Longlife is featured to talk and also give tips, and then at the end of each conversation he gives out his phone number. But for once, because he's live here with us, I will give him this opportunity, and wherever is it you are, get your pen and paper, take down his number. Anywhere you are in the world that you are watching us from, get in touch with him and have personal conversation with him regarding whatever challenge that you are having. He is a life coach, and I don't need to even praise him. These few minutes we have spent together with him here will have proven to you that this is someone you should have in your corner. So, Doctor, before we call it a day, because we'll be signaled that we should round up the program, but please kindly give out your contact.
Very critical.
Yes.
We don't only do motivation, education, we also do intervention. What do we do in intervention? We do 3 E's.
Okay.
We explore into you using our own strategies and techniques and assessment to be able to see what exactly you are going through, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And then from exploration, we do expression. We say, sir, see what is happening inside you. It could be in your mind. It could be in your feelings. Oh, you lack sleep and all of that. Don't just take sedative and all of that. Oh, you are depressed, you have a day, you go for drug. No. We have to do root cause analysis and all of that and help you out through our E version. And then we do establishment by restoring you to your default setting, and you bounce back fully. And then behavioral checks is key. And for everyone who cares to listen today, I have that free service for you. I gave you a book just now.
Yes, you did.
And an assessment.
Yes.
Let's show the world. This book will help you.
This is the book by Dr. James Komolafe himself. And of course, he has a list of checks here which he has
That is the behavioral check.
He has mandated me to do, which I will definitely do.
Everybody who runs
today.
This reality check will know where he's good, where is bad, where is ugly. You will know your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats, and then be able to rearrange from the inside. You cannot do this on your own. As a trained professional from the prestigious Institute of Technology, Florida and Hawaii, in this critical area, I know what it takes to rework you back to your original from the inside to the outside without the drug. So reach me today to run the reality checks on anything: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, marital, financial. Reach me on +234 8035 999 220. In case you are calling outside of Nigeria, but you are around our space here, Nigeria, reach me on 080 35 999 220. Remember, as you run medical checks, you also need this veritable complement called the behavior check. We need to check you up, neck up, to be sure you are good, neck down. And when you are good, neck down, you will be great, leg forward.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Dr. James Komolafe.
And in case people in Abuja wants to connect and consult, because we do mobile strategy, we do online, offline, on-site. Saba Resources, for which through the grace of God I'm chief consultant and senior psychometrician, situates on Fatima Plaza, Mambolo Street, beside First Bank, Zone 2, Abuja, Federal Capital. We have people flying in from all over the world to run therapies, interventions, and all of that. And we do online too. You can reach us there.
Thank you very much once again, Dr. James Komolafe. Of course, we can't thank you enough. We are glad that you are in our corner, and we can always be counting on you to be here at any point in time. And in case you miss those contacts and addresses, just come to Aso Radio. We will definitely give you a link, where we'll link you up rather with Dr. James Komolafe, also known as Dr. Long Life himself. Now we'll take a leave of this segment to go join Investment Plus segment, and when we come back, we will have our next set of guests who will be talking about CNG conversion. What this means, just stay around. We'll be right back.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Investment Plus. Today we're going to talk about 3 life-changing secrets to achieving wealth and riches. Secret number 1 is mindset mastery. Yes, your mindset is the foundation upon which wealth is built. It actually starts from inside. Now picture this. Imagine a beautiful skyscraper. Before its construction, architects will meticulously plan every detail, ensuring a solid foundation. Your mindset works exactly the same way. It is the foundation for anything you're going to build on the top of that. So you have to learn to cultivate a positive and abundant mindset. If you don't think it's possible to create wealth, it's never going to happen for you. Right in the middle of economic challenges, people can have different experiences. So you must embrace the belief that you deserve financial success as well as and watch your dreams manifest into reality. Secret number 2 is smart savings and investing. Smart saving and investing. You need to invest wisely. You have to start by creating a budget and stick to it. You know, on every episode we emphasize the need for you to live on a plan. And that's because of its importance. You have to create a budget, stick to it. The key is discipline. Discipline is adjusting your lifestyle to reaching your goals. So you have to cut unnecessary expenses and redirect those funds into your investments that will generate passive income for you. You have to keep your learning also up about stocks, real estate, and other avenues that can help you to create wealth. Remember, small, consistent steps can lead to extraordinary results. Now, the number 3 secret is to create multiple streams of income. I could never stop emphasizing this particular key because it's actually very important. Now, research has it that millionaires in dollars, have 7 streams of income minimum. And you know what the ultra wealthy have? Hundreds and hundreds streams. There is no way you want to create wealth with just that salary. The truth is that salary, a portion of it has to be working to create other sources of income for you. So you can't rely on a single income source. It's like trying to balance on a tightrope without a safety net. You imagine all these people in the circus and there's no safety net where they can easily fall to and be safe. So we have untapped potential as a country, and there are endless opportunities in this country. So you must embrace that power of diversification. You have to explore side businesses, start something small in your corner. If your work takes most of your time, and this doesn't exactly mean leave your work and go start your thing. Trust me, it always looks greener on the other side. The business owners too are not finding it funny. So stay with your job, but let your income create other sources for you. A sizable portion of it should go into creating something else that brings you income consistently. And this can take time, so it is best for you to start right now. By creating multiple streams of income, you fortify your financial fortress and unlock the door to lasting prosperity. And that's it on this episode today. The secrets to wealth and riches. Number 1 is to master your mindset. If you don't have an abundant mindset about wealth, about possibility for success financially, it's not going to happen. And then smart saving and investing is the number 2 key. And of course, creating multiple streams of income. But remember, the journey isn't an overnight thing. You can't become an overnight success. It's about small steps, it's about daily commitments, and the unwavering belief that you can and will achieve financial freedom. Now, before I go, let me share another bonus secret with you. You have to, on the journey to creating wealth, surround yourself with like-minded individuals who share your passion for building wealth. So you join communities, attend workshops, find mentors who have already walked the path so they can show you the path. They always ask me on TV shows that, okay, do you think there's a shortcut to success? And I say, yes, it's by learning from other people. Someone has gone the path, learn how they did it and go so you don't have to make the same mistake. So together, we can uplift each other and create a legacy of wealth for generations to come. So as we wrap up, I'd like to urge you to take action. If you implement the secrets of life starting right now, you begin to create wealth for yourself. Thank you for watching today. That's it on the episode. See you next time. Bye for now.
Welcome back from the Investment Plus segment. Of course, some of the tips that you have learned is how to be financially wiser, particularly in these very interesting times. And then to move the conversation further, you know, I did introduce to you at the beginning of the program that since the removal of fuel subsidy in Nigeria, there has been a conversation around having CNG-enabled vehicles and machinery generally in Nigeria. This is to, you know, reduce the dependence on petrol, as it were. Of course, a lot of companies have, you know, delved into this aspect of CNG conversion, but there is one that stands out and have been doing quite a lot. Have been doing things in a different way in the Federal Capital Territory. I'm talking about ABG CNG. These people have been around, and just yesterday they had an event, but I'm not in a better position to talk about all that they have been doing and all that they will also continue to do. That's why we have invited Dr. Mohammed Al-Gawish. He is Chairman and Managing Director, MENA Tradex, but of course he is the international consultant to ABG CNG. Dr. Mohammed, it's good to have you in our studios this morning.
Thank you. The pleasure is all mine. It's good to be here.
All right, CNG. A lot of people have been hearing about CNG. What does CNG stand for, generally?
Well, CNG is compressed natural gas.
Okay.
And it's basically natural gas, the fuel, in a compressed form, in special containers to be utilized where required, especially in vehicles, let's say, as a vehicle fuel.
Okay, so ABG, what is ABG's involvement in this space? What do you do in the CNG space generally?
Well, ABG as a group have been always standing out, let's say, in all the fields that have been active in. Well, the same goes for their involvement in oil and gas, specifically the CNG, where they've been trying and working hard on promoting CNG in Nigeria for the past, I think, 7 or 8 years at least. And we have been working with them very closely for the past 2 years to start our program. EBG, they're tackling the CNG in Nigeria in quite a different form, let's say, or a different aspect, where a lot of people are mainly focusing on just the equipment infrastructure.
Yes.
Like the pipeline, the stations, the mother stations,
the plants.
stations, exactly, the dispensing units, the kits, things like that. ABG has all this pre-set up, let's say. They know what they're doing, but they're also investing in the manpower, the skilled Nigerian technicians.
Oh, really?
And this is where we really stand out.
So that means you're also involved in training Nigerians in all of these processes?
Exactly.
Oh, so how much have you done in this regard?
Well, our first class of graduate trainees have just finished their course and graduated yesterday.
How many?
40.
40 Nigerians?
Yes. This is the core. They're the first class.
Oh.
And our training is not just on technical installation, how to remove or install a mechanical or electrical part, but it's also on the fundamentals of CNG as a gas. They have historical knowledge now. They have technical knowledge of the gas itself, safety. They understand the safety of safety regulations and safety procedures and management of CNG, and of course the technical aspect of the conversion itself.
Okay, I see you had as part of your guest, Minister of Information and National Orientation yesterday, and those are some of the images from yesterday's event. But very quickly, kindly tell us, because there are a lot of people, Nigerians, who are still very skeptical with regards to this very innovation of converting their petrol-based vehicles to CNG. What are the advantages of converting your vehicle to be CNG powered?
Well, the advantages are a lot, to be honest. I'll just enumerate a few of them now. But before getting into that, one of the barriers that we've been facing is the misconception and the wrong myth that people have regarding CNG.
So let's clear those myths.
Exactly, let's clear those out first and then go into the advantages.
Great.
Well, some people have a myth like no, I'm not going to convert. Not going to put a bomb in my car.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure you heard that.
It explodes.
It explodes. It's too dangerous. Natural gas is highly flammable. So, well, these are all misconceptions.
Okay.
They're not based on true facts. CNG is back to advantages now. CNG is actually the safest fuel to be used for vehicles.
Okay.
It's actually safer than PMS, which is a surprise to a lot of people, but it's actually safer than PMS.
Okay.
It's a greener fuel, of course, because it has less emissions, especially carbon.
Yes.
It's cheaper, which this is what most Nigerians
Exactly.
looking for and interested. And actually, by running just a few figures, preliminary figures,
Okay.
let's say that a household that uses CNG as a fuel for their vehicles or even for transportation could achieve around 60% savings on their transport expenses, which is a figure. It's a good figure, actually.
Wow, it is really a very good figure.
True.
Yeah. So okay, now part of some of the misconceptions or some of the things that people come up with is that you can have your vehicle converted to use CNG while you still maintain the PMS aspect of it. How true is this?
Well, this is true.
Oh,
This is true.
Okay.
And actually, PMS in this case is used to start up the engine first, to warm it up, then switch to natural gas or CNG. And at the same time, because so far the fueling stations infrastructure in Nigeria is developing.
Yeah.
It's in an early stage. Stations are not so spread out over the country so far. So, for instance, you could start your trip on CNG, reach your limit based on the amount of fuel you have, and then switch back to PMS, continue your trip to the nearest CNG station, fuel up again, and so on.
Okay.
But once CNG is abundant and spread in all stations, let's say in Nigeria, then you won't need to do this switching anymore.
Okay. So how? Let's now come down to the reality. Let's say someone is now interested in having their car converted to CNG.
Okay.
How, from ABG's perspective, what should be the person's budget?
Oh, that's a tough question.
And a very important one, because as much as there are people who are skeptical, there are also those who want to, go do that, but they have no idea what the budget is. So if someone knows what they should, prepare for, I think it's important.
True. Well, you know that all the kits and the cylinders and the components are all imported.
Yeah.
And this is sort of a burden, let's say, because of the dollar and foreign exchange, and so on. So the price so far varies a little bit, but it's plus or minus, or let's say it's in the range of 500 to 600,000 naira. 500
to 600,000 naira.
Yes, probably this will be the conversion rate.
Okay. Is there a possibility, like you said, when CNG becomes abundant in Nigeria, is there a possibility to see this price come down so that a lot of other people can be able to afford it?
Definitely. All possibilities are there on the table.
Okay.
But as you know, we're still in the initial phases.
Yes.
Kits are not abundant enough. Stations are not abundant enough. So far, you're still buying at smaller quantities.
Okay.
So when things start to move a little bit further, and you're starting to quantify the project, definitely things are going to, or let's say, budgets are going to move down a little bit.
Definitely. Okay, so how many stations does ABG CNG have in Nigeria, and particularly in Abuja?
Well, we're currently establishing around 4 stations in Abuja region, and we have Lagos planned, Kaduna and Kano as well.
Okay.
They'll all be hopefully running within this year.
Okay.
While the conversion centers have already started operation.
The conversions
and training as well.
Okay, is there a conversion center in Abuja, and where is it located?
Yes, it's in Kubwa.
Kubwa.
Yes.
Okay. Where
on
in Kubwa?
Kobo Highway.
Kubwa Highway.
Yes.
Okay.
We could share the location soon with everyone.
Okay.
But it's visible. It's directly on the highway, so you shouldn't miss it.
ABG CNG.
Exactly.
Somewhere in Kubwa Express.
Yes.
Okay. What will you be telling someone who is still here and there, because we touched on people who are still skeptical, because
True.
change,
True.
this is something that is new by all standard. It's something that is new to a lot of people. What would you be telling someone who is still, between, I want to do, I don't want to do?
I'll tell them, don't wait.
Don't wait.
Yes,
Okay.
take the initiative, move now.
Okay.
This is the time to do that.
Okay.
He's going to have the full support. I mean, the federal government is supporting
Yes.
the initiative now.
I was going to ask about that collaboration
Sure.
between the ABG, CNG, and the federal government of Nigeria. How viable has that collaboration been, particularly with respect to making it accessible to all Nigerians, to a lot of Nigerians? Rather.
Well, it's not just for ABG.
Okay.
We see that the federal government is exerting a huge effort, and a lot of initiatives are being done to promote CNG, especially that it will cushion the effect of removal of the fuel subsidy on other types of fuels.
True.
And we've been participating and working closely as well with the presidential CNG initiative.
Yes.
And there was an event last month that we also participated in as well closely. We see that the support is there from all entities. Some banks are willing to support citizens on conversions. The federal government is there, the media, since we're here, and others as well. Everyone is supporting the change.
Okay.
So the public shouldn't wait.
Okay.
Now there are some skilled technicians available, either through ABG and others as well. But ABG is taking the initiative or the lead in establishing the base and the core technical staff for CNG conversion. Okay.
Now, Nigeria has a target of reaching what you refer to as zero gas emission by 2030. Do you see us, especially with respect to what companies like yours are doing now, do you see us moving faster towards attaining that goal of zero carbon emission by 2030?
Well, it's a very ambitious plan, of course, but it's not impossible. It's doable.
It is doable.
Definitely.
So what are those? Did you see that the things that we are doing now, especially with the support from the presidential CNG initiative and other supports such as you've mentioned, do you see all of this, helping us reach that goal as soonest?
Definitely. To reach such a goal, you have to work on multiple aspects in different directions, but all, let's say, in a parallel manner. So you have to reduce emissions from vehicles, you have to reduce emissions from flaring, you have to reduce emissions from unregulated burning of hydrocarbons, let's say. And I see that the government is working on all of these channels at the same time. CNG is just one of these channels. But it's actually one of the important channels, because there are millions of vehicles on the road. Well, and their conditions are not all, let's say,
the same?
average or the same. Some are below average, some are in a good condition. But if you switch them to CNG, their performance will improve and their emissions will decrease markedly. Aiming and moving into the direction of the zero emissions that the government wants to achieve.
Okay. What apart from CNG, are there other services that, apart of course, you mentioned training?
Yes.
There are other services that ABG does for, especially in Nigeria.
Well, ABG, as I said, is a
group.
Is a group.
Okay.
So they have agricultural services. They were also in TV broadcast and TV channels that was quite some time back. They were also one of, I think, the pioneers to lead mass transportation as well through one of their companies. So they're actually pioneers in most of the fields.
Okay. So I would just want you to take another opportunity to speak to especially FCT residents who have the opportunity to access your plans easily, on why they should, take the advantage, especially at this very initial stage, to ensure that they have CNG-enabled vehicles.
Okay, well, for the FCT specifically,
yes,
the center is already there. More centers will be up and running in a very short period of time. We are now ready to convert PMS vehicles, the 4, 6, and 8-cylinder vehicles, and very shortly we'll also be ready to convert the diesel engines for buses and trucks. and also generators that produce power as well.
Yes, generators.
Yes, we have the technical capability and the kits necessary for that as well. So this is within our scope. It will be up and running very shortly, within this year as well. And for the public, we advise them to come over.
Okay.
They're not obliged to come and convert right away.
Okay.
We are totally free and willing to give them all the information they need till they feel comfortable.
Okay.
And do the conversion.
Okay.
At the same time, technicians who are willing to learn how to do the conversion, our classes are available. We'll teach them how to do that so that we expand and spread the knowledge and the technicalities of CNG as well to all the public. And for the users, don't worry, CNG is safe, clean, and cheap fuel.
Okay. For the training, what are the requirements? Do you need a degree in engineering or mechanical?
No.
Okay. So what do you need? What do you need to have first to come for that training?
Well,
and is it free?
It's so far it is.
Okay.
So far it is free.
I want you to repeat that aspect because we see this space, this aspect growing. In a matter of months, years to come. And a lot of people, a lot of hands will be needed, and this will be another booster for the economy because a lot of people will be gainfully employed in these areas. You say the training for now is free? Yes,
because we are treating our trainees as the core, let's say, of the project and the core of spreading the knowledge.
Okay.
We want them to reach a degree of, let's say, competence, where they are comfortable and confident of transferring this knowledge to others as well.
Sure.
So we want them to become trainers, not just trainees.
Okay.
And hopefully that will be accomplished very soon. Most of the trainees that have just graduated, they're actually very enthusiastic. And if you start with them a dialogue or start questioning them about CNG,
they already have some of the basic knowledge.
Exactly. Actually, a little bit higher than basic as well.
Oh.
And they start expressing how much they know, and they feel happy about that.
You can trust Nigerians. We catch up very fast.
Definitely. No, they're very smart. Very smart.
Okay. And you said you don't require any degree or certification to come for the training?
Basic education.
Basic education.
That's fine, because CNG is a complete industry.
Okay.
We're not just looking for technicians who are going to, or mechanics who are going to use their hands or craftsmanship for installation.
Okay.
But you'll need other categories as well.
Okay.
People in marketing, people in sales, people in safety, to teach HSE, people for troubleshooting, people to handle general questions. But it's important that they all have the necessary knowledge.
And so that's what you're offering for now?
Yes, and that's what we already started.
Okay.
So the trainees, they're not all technicians. They're not all hands-on on converting vehicles, but they all could do so now.
Okay.
So if you take any of them, even the IT guys, and you take them to a converted car, and you ask them questions, what's this, what's that, what's the function of this part, they're going to respond correctly.
Wow. Okay, so you talked to us, you said yesterday you graduated how many?
40.
40?
Yes.
So is there a plan for another set anytime soon? And when is that?
We're working on the next, we're now gathering the info about the next class.
Okay.
And we should be determining the timing very soon.
Okay, so if
probably within the second half of February.
Okay, I can see some of the trainees. Are those some of the trainees on the screen?
Yes, this was actually part of the training program.
Yesterday?
Yes.
Okay.
No, well, this was shot yesterday.
Okay.
And the training was going on for almost a week. This is a V6 engine, not just a normal V4 engine.
Okay.
So it had some challenges, but they were up to it.
They were up to it, and I can see that they're all Nigerians, right?
They're all Nigerians, yes.
Oh, great! This is really impressive. So, if the next one is coming, if the next training is coming up, and someone is interested in getting to link up with ABG, where should they start from?
Well, we have our numbers and handles, social media handles, all available.
Okay.
And we're more than willing to share them, of course.
Okay.
Let them just contact us and we'll definitely respond.
Okay, so ABG can be contacted on all the social media platforms.
Exactly.
And then they can get more information.
True.
It's particularly about the upcoming training. Sure. Because that's very, very crucial. And I think that's one thing that ABG CNG does that others are not yet doing.
Exactly.
Which is very critical, because knowledge transfer is key. You don't just come here to invest, like you've said, in the plants and machinery and all of that. But
that's easy. And
that's very
anyone
easy.
can
Anyone
do that.
Can do that, really.
Even if you're not experienced, if you just have enough money and a budget to do so, you can do that.
Truly.
But having a base, knowledge base,
yes,
of trained and skilled technicians and workers and operators, that's the real gain.
That's the real gain, and it takes an industry leader actually to be able to do that.
True.
It takes because there are people who will rather hoard that knowledge and prefer to just set up the machinery and then make money and then go away.
True, because ABG CNG's main objective is Nigeria. So what benefits Nigeria is what they do. It's not just about investment and making money, and so that will come later on.
Okay, but for now, so does this speak to your future plans, that you want to have more plants in Nigeria?
True.
And to be able to operate these plants effectively, there will definitely be a need for manpower.
Definitely.
Is this part of your future plans?
Definitely, definitely.
Oh,
actually, during the past couple of years, while we were doing all the plans, there was, let's say, a certain figure which we always kept and tried to increase, which is job opportunities.
Job opportunity.
We always kept that in mind. We had the direct jobs enlisted and the indirect jobs as well. Because, well, for instance, during our training, we were 40 trainees and others from ABG and so on. But on site, there were a lot of services going on. Like the people who helped build up the place. There were painters, there was carpenters, there was welders. So all of these, they're not directly employed by ABG, but indirectly they got a job opportunity. The guys who were passing by selling fruit,
they also
selling peanuts, selling drinks and so on, they all benefited from the presence of a conversion center and trainees and the flow of people to the place. And before that, this place was deserted. There was no action there.
True.
So, once again, this is the main target. Nigerians is the main goal. Knowledge and jobs, direct and indirect.
That's great. So, where do you see ABG CNG in Nigeria in, say, in the next 5 years?
Pioneers as usual.
It's a huge process, of course.
But where exactly is a very tough question, because with the pace that they're working on, I think that my projection will be less than what they will achieve.
Wow. So what's your projection?
Covering all of the geopolitical zones, I think.
Oh, that would be great, really. Because one of the things about CNG plants is proximity. Of course, Abuja, Lagos already have some of the plants that there are other states in Nigeria who would, and Kano, of course, there are other states in Nigeria who definitely would be glad to have some of your plants. We have solutions for that. Okay. We have solutions and projections. We're just working. I don't want to disclose all the information now, but we have solutions for areas that, of course, are not connected or don't have sufficient gas source, and areas that have a pipeline and areas who are close to a pipeline. So there are solutions for every case and every geopolitical zone. All coming in due time. All coming in due time, exactly. So Nigerians should be excited. Definitely. So is there any other thing you want Nigerians to know about what you do? Well, I hope that we covered most of the information that they would be looking for, the basic information at least. And if they need any more information, definitely you're here to give them all they need. Definitely. And we're available as well by all handles and phones. Okay. I will have to say sincere thank you to Dr. Mohammed Al-Gawish. The pleasure is all mine. I thank you. He is the chairman and managing director, MENA Tradex, and an international consultant to ABG CNG. We've been talking about CNG conversion in Nigeria. So yesterday they had an event where, of course, they graduated 40 Nigerians that have been trained the basic or above basic knowledge about CNG conversion. And as you saw on the screen a while ago, saw Nigerians already working on some of those engines and all of that. And for us here, this is what we tend to promote. Anyone who will come, not just make profit from Nigerians, but of course, also drop knowledge, as they say, teach, and then, empower people with knowledge so that in no distant time, these people hold their own, and then, of course, be able to, do some of these things by themselves, thereby expanding the cost of employment and reducing the rate of unemployment in Nigeria. We say sincere thank you for finding time to be with us on Aso Morning today.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's a
Thank
pleasure.
you very much. And it's on this note that we draw the curtains on today's edition of Aso Morning on Aso Television. I say thank you very much for investing your time with us this morning, and hope that tomorrow you will also again make a date with us here on Aso TV on Aso Morning. My name is Usman Katun Umar, urging you to have a very pleasant day ahead.